grab that lamp that's at your feet. Etz Chaim L'machazikim ba B'tom Cheha Me'usha. You can hear it, it's in the breeze. It's a story written in the leaves. Though those branches, they may wind and weave, it's a tree of life. It's Chaim. It's Chaim. L'machazikim ba B'tom Cheha Me'usha. It's Chaim L'machazikim ba הקדושה ברוחה ועימה מלאכים צבא שלום ומנוחה בואי המלכה בואי כלה שלום עליכם מלאכי השלום 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 שלום עליכם מלאכי השלום Shalom Rav Yisrael Haocha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Yisrael Haocha Tasim Leolam Ki ata hu melech Adon Kol hashalom טוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים
Thank you, Cantor. Hello. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Just a few announcements before our service begins this evening. For safety and courtesy, please silence your cell phones. I'd like to direct your attention to the emergency exits in our sanctuary and social hall, exits on either side of the bima, and the door from which you entered, and a door on the other side, and two doors in the back of the social hall as well. Please look for the red and green exit lights over the doors. There's a fire extinguisher and an AED device near the water fountain in the hall, and another fire extinguisher inside the doors to the sanctuary where you entered. Please take a moment and find the exits nearest to you. In your seats, there is also a placard which will show you the exits and other safety information. Thank you for your attention, and Shabbat Shalom.
Don, are we up on the image? Cool. Okay. I'm going to just say Shabbat Shalom. Sorry we're a little late this evening, and I will introduce Rabbi Kupitz, and I'll be right back.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom to those of you, too, who are joining us online this evening. It's wonderful to be with you. And always a special thanks to those who join in 3 dimensions in the sanctuary. It's always good to be with all of you. It's great to be back together for a first Friday Shul Band Shabbat. And just want to make sure we're all ready on the technology end. And when we are, we can jump in. I can talk. Here I am. I'm still here. And let's all take a deep breath. It's the end of another week. Center ourselves and be present in this place. In just a moment, we're going to start with a melody, a nigun, a melody with no words, just to get our voices and our spirits warmed up. So raise your voices and we'll join in singing together.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
I'd like to invite up Naomi and Josh to help us to kindle our Shabbat lights this evening.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. Please rise if you're comfortably able to do so.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kinishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. Turn to pages 20 and 21. We take a moment for Hazarat HaShavua, for a review of the week, going back to last Shabbat, pausing a moment on each day, on its challenges, on its blessings. Deep breath. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, we'll rise and face the doors from which we entered to welcome the Shabbat presence and the Nishama Yetera, extra soulfulness that travels with us during Shabbat into our congregation. For those of you at home, you can turn toward the doors of your home, page 20 and 21.
Lecha Dodi,
Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala,
Likrat Kala,
B'nei Shabbat,
B'nei Shabbat,
Lecha Dodi,
Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala,
Likrat Kala,
B'nei Shabbat,
B'nei Shabbat,
Nekabela,
Nekabela,
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela, Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, Shmo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litchila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela, Likrat Shabbat, Lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor ha'bracha, V'rosh v'kedem Yisucha, Samachaseh b'machshavat tchila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי ברך קומי אורי, 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 שדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה.
Please rise if you're comfortable doing so and face the doors.
בואי בשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצורה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה.
We continue on page 26. Page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
בעלמא יברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחי יכול וביום יכול ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה ברכו לעילם בין כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תאמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן.
Page 28, Baruchu, our call to prayer.
Oh, am I awake? Am I aware? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I aware? Yada die, die, die. 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 Baruch hu ad Adonai Hamelot.
Last three lines in the Hebrew on page 30, El Chai V'Kayam.
El Chai V'Kayam, Tamidim L'Chaleinu L'Olam Va'en, Baruch Atah Adonai,
Baruch Shemo.
Amariv, Aravi.
Amen. Going to continue in a moment on page 34 and 35. Aubrey's going to help you with this. Just reading it. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, Adonai our God. Adonai is one, blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Page 36. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Gotta be closer. 1, 2, 3. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'divarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lachtecha v'derech uv'shofbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam le'ot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot beinenecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'yisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzei tiachem meretz Mitzrayim liyot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
Turn to page 42. Our Song of Freedom, Michamocha.
Adonai et Yaakov, Hugalo mi'ad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
Amen. We turn to page 42 for Hashkivenu. We ask that the Holy One watch over us and to protect us and raise us up to purpose and life renewed.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Behamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Fros aleinu sukat shalom lecha, ufros aleinu sukat shalom lecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Keep us, God, wrong from right. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Behamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Fros aleinu sukat shalom lecha, ufros aleinu
give thanks for the Shabbat, for the opportunity it gives us to take a breath, to pause, to connect to our deepest selves, to our community, to God. Join in singing Vishamru.
Bnei Israel, Oti Leolam, Oti Leolam, Oti Leolam, Veshamru Bnei Israel, Et HaShabbat, Lasu et HaShabbat, Kishet Yamin, Asa Adonai, Et Hashamayim, Ve'et Haaretz, Veshamru Bnei Israel, Et HaShabbat, Lasu et HaShabbat, Ubiom Hashvi, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash.
Turn to page 46. As we get ready for our Amidah, we'll sing through Adonai Tzvatai Tiftach. When you're ready, you'll rise and we'll continue with our Amidah on the following pages.
Wrong key.
Na 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 na. Adonai. Na 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 na. Tzvatai Tiftach. Anenananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha.
Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imaot U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem L'ma'an Shemo V'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah.
Page 50.
Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai V'chayei HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed Mechayei HaKol V'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofech Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha Ba'al Gevurot Umidom Elach Melech Meimid Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atal ha'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hakol.
Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch hu Baruch Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please continue silently with the text of your own heart or the words of the Siddur of the prayer book through page 62, 63. When you're through, you may be seated.
So last week when Rabbi Giliak was here, he mentioned one of the gifts of Jewish renewal in Poland to us here in the States was some Polish Jewish clergy who had, to the slight detriment of the folks back home, made a home for themselves here in the United States. One of those, Reb Menachem Mirsky, who will graduate this year from the Ziegler Rabbinic School, and who I believe is right now serving in a congregation in Orange County, gifted us when he was our guest at Shul Bands for about 3 or 4 years with this tune. We encourage you to enthusiastically join in, and if you don't know it, you'll get it. Yum dun 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 da da yum bum bye da 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 ya da 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 ya da da yum bum 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 ba da yum bum ba da bum bum bye ya da 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 da. Try with me. Yum bum 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 ba da yum bum ba da bum bum bye ya da ba da ba da ba da bum bye ya da da yum bum 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 ba da yum bum ba da bum bum bye ya da 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 da.
Shabbat Shalom. We've been reading from the book of Vayikra, Leviticus. There's a little ring here, which demands holiness and separation, which teaches Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself, and proclaim liberty throughout the land. The Eitz Chaim, it is a tree of life. It's a fitting metaphor. This week's parashah speaks of the laws concerning priestly purity, matters of the temple. It outlines observances for the holy days in Shabbat, the days Rabbi Yitz Greenberg calls the unbroken master code of Judaism. Grasp them, he challenges, and you hold the heart of the faith in your hand. Reading through this week's parashah, Emor, through the laws concerning Kohanim and animal sacrifice, past the prescriptions for our holidays and festivals, in the most unlikely place in the text, there's a story of a man who commits blasphemy. It is strange to find a story of defilement and immorality in the book of Torah devoted to holiness and separation. Actually, it's strange to find a story at all in the book of Vayikra, in Leviticus, which is mostly filled with laws containing really only little bits of narrative. Reading the story of the blasphemer, we are disturbed by the magnitude of the crime and the terror of the punishment. By commanding community participation in the blasphemer's execution, the Torah teaches that blasphemy is not only a crime against God, but a degradation of humanity. Nechama Leibovitz, the great Torah scholar of blessed memory, wrote, "Blasphemy is a debasement of human dignity, the erasure of the divine image in humanity. So, certainly for them, blasphemy was a big crime. Even so, why does the Torah turn from ritual purity and sanctified time to a tragic, unfortunate story of desecration and public execution? How can we make sense of a man being stoned by the entire tribe of Israel? A primitive episode seems more out of an Indiana Jones movie. As the story is difficult in our time, it was also difficult for the classical commentators as well. Rashi, clearly feeling sympathetic to the blasphemer, creates a backstory and suggests that Shlomit, the blasphemer's mother, was raped by an Egyptian taskmaster. And then assigned the status of prostitute for that act. Some commentators write that the blasphemer's Egyptian father was none other than the same taskmaster who Moses later killed for beating the Hebrew slave. According to Rashi, there was a quarrel over the man's right to live in the camp on the basis of the verse which states, "The children of Israel are to pitch by their father's house." Moses ruled that the Egyptian son had no right to reside among the tribe of Dan. After the verdict, Shlomit's son went out from the court of Moses, and it was then, according to Rashi, that he cursed God's name. The Rashbam, explaining the verse, "You shall not revile the judges of your people," teaches that it was a common occurrence for people to curse judges who decided civil cases. The difference here is that the blasphemer cursed not the judge, but God directly. I wonder what Shlomit's son was thinking as he left the court of Moses. His father, killed by the judge who declared him homeless. His father, the rapist. His mother declared a prostitute, a victim punished for the crime. He declared a half-breed, alone in the desert, a man without options. I wonder what I would have done. How can we make sense of this twisted story of blind justice and broken spirit? Many people would like to skip from the book of Exodus to the book of Numbers, leaving out Leviticus altogether. So much of its content seems problematic. However, all of Torah is part of our legacy, part of our heritage, the uplifting with the terrible. As we are in this counting period, moving toward Shavuot, the time of the giving of our Torah, we are reminded that the people carried the 10 Commandments and the broken tablets with them through the desert. Our text, like us as individuals, and like our people Israel, is full of that which makes us whole and brings us closer to God, and contains elements of brokenness. Those parts of our text, our people, ourselves, that we would like to forget. Parashat Emor challenges us to remember the story of an unfortunate man who's exiled and then incarcerated and stoned for speaking ill-chosen, ill-placed words of protest. It's a story I'd like to forget. As we wrestle with Emor, we're forced to remember our own broken tablets, our stories of stoning and ill-chosen words. I remember Sarah, an elementary school classmate. Like Shlomit's son, Sarah was made an outcast. Her mother had died. She lived alone with her father, who always seemed just a little bit off. Her world was one we did not understand. Her difference set her apart and made her vulnerable. She was assigned the label cootie and had the power to coodleize other kids simply by touching or getting too close. A vaccine was invented. We ran around the playground giving each other cootie shots, a quick cure, in case we had a close encounter with Sarah at the drinking fountain from which she drank. She never cursed God. Nonetheless, we stoned her day after day with isolation and with ill-chosen words. It was a cruel game, yet I never found the courage to stop it. As long as Sarah was the cootie, I was safe. My wrestling with Emor mixed with my memories of Sarah, the story of the blasphemer, became not a story about blasphemy at all. became a story of oppression and scapegoating. It became a lesson of the consequences of forgetting that we were strangers in Mitzrayim, in Egypt. It became a reminder that our mothers were raped by Egyptian taskmasters, that our fathers were blinded in Pharaoh's sand pits. A reminder that we too know how it feels to be different, to be a stranger. The story unlocks for us our own memories of stoning and ill-chosen words. As we contemplate its meaning for us in our modern lives, we are tempted to complete the story. And the children of Israel returned from the fields where they had stoned the son of Shlomit, daughter of Divri, the tribe of Dan. And they saw that their clothes were splattered with blood, and they turned to Shlomit and recalled her painful exile. They remembered isolating her son and throwing him out of their camp. They remembered the look in his eyes as stones shattered his skull and spirit. The children of Israel realized that they had forgotten Egypt, that they had made a man an outcast, a stranger, that they had cloaked his difference in legal procedure. They felt his blasphemy on their souls. They repented before God, and it was so. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We turn now to our words of healing, our Misha Berach prayer, which you'll find on page 253, or the Hebrew text at least is on 253.
Holy One, bless our mothers, bless our fathers from ancient days. Bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names. HaKadosh Baruch V'malei rachamim aleihem v'hamsikam u'ra'otam v'yishlach lahem refuah shlema refuat hanefesh V'tok sha'ar Olei Yisrael. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Toback, Rosin Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Pam Poliakoff, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Jennifer Rudin, Brad Holland, Serena Postal, Bobby Kay, Robert Strober, Marilyn Lubarsky, Ellery Einstein, Joan Morse, Nomi Kravitz, Craig Sachs, Myra White, Lori Snyder, Trader Razaday, Mike Klein, Barbara Fass, Joel Beasy, Burton Gershman, Lawson Spicer, Gloria Foster, Rita Warshaw, Robert Gerard, Adele Harris, Brenda Fountain Gerard, Ron Friedlander, Harvey Sherman, Jan Marcus, Fred Fable, Marla Fregosa, Martin Cole, Al Shapiro, Jeff Nelson, Oran Resnick, Gina Eli, Robert Waldman, Barry Gustafero, Judith Gratz-Delan, Eva Laxon, Alda Mendoza, Mitch Samuelson, Sharna Blitz, Eli Wakefield, Rob Scheer, Danny Kamal, Audrey Kubel, Deborah DeLange, James Stead, Rita Elias, Benjamin Jones, Chris Gacci, Stephen Gilbert, and
Kadosh Baruch Imalei Rachamim Aleichem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their name.
Do we have any May birthdays in the house? Oh, I see there's a birthday. Good. All right, we got some May birthdays. So I need a few people who aren't May birthdays to help us hold the gathering
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
Happy birthday. We hope that it is not only a good day, whether you've had it already or it's coming up, but that it is a year of goodness and of blessing, a year of growth of spirit, of connection to family and community. And we offer the traditional blessing of our people upon you.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's presence shine into you and through you to others. May God always be compassionate unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God and all that is good be present for you in your life. May you find wholeness, shalom, wholeness and peace in your heart and your community. And may you join with others to bring our world closer to wholeness, to peace, to shalom. We say together,
Amen.
And I've got some birthday pencils and chocolate for all of you with our continued joint venture with Mark Feynman, all the way from Oceanside, continues to make our chocolate. So happy birthday.
Yom Huledet Sameach, 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 Yom Huledet
All right, I'm going to invite Gary Gilbert to come on up. Again, he was just up for his birthday, but to share some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I wish to welcome and thank all of you for being here, whether in person here in the sanctuary or whether you are joining us online in our virtual community. Todah Rabbah to Rabbi Kupitz for leading us in tefillah this evening, And thank you to Cantor Bush for providing the richness of your voice and music. Thanks also to our wonderful shul band here this evening, and for the very inspiring music that you provide. Thank you to our fellow congregants who generously donated the delicious items for tonight's oneg as well. Thank you to our greeters for this evening, Debbie Harris, Phyllis Blackie, Judy Rose, and Dan and Marla White, greeting us at our newly installed gate. I hope you all noticed. After the service, we would gather in the social hall for kiddush, motzi, and refreshments. Please take this opportunity to greet one another during this time. Just a couple of quick but important announcements to make about events upcoming in our community. The first is, please mark your calendar for May 24th. It is May, which means it is time for our annual congregational meeting, which this year will take place on Thursday, May 24th, and Wednesday. Sorry. That's right, Thursday Shavuot. Wednesday, May 24th, and I hope that you will all be able to attend, if for no other reason than I will not be able to attend, because I will be in Israel at that time, celebrating Shavuot with the two people back there. Hello, two people. The second announcement, you should have received an email about our Giving Tree fundraising. This is a very important, I would also say an easy way for you to help to support the many good things that go on in our temple community. If you haven't already done so, I encourage you to follow the links in the email message or go to our website, tbipomona.org, and click on the links to the Giving Tree fundraiser. Pick a leaf. There are leaves of all different prices, all different price ranges, but pick a leaf to show your support for the growth of our community. And after you've done that, please join us as a community on Saturday, June 3rd. Did I get that day right? Yeah. Okay, oh, good. 1 out of 2. On Saturday, June 3rd, here in the temple in the social hall to celebrate this wonderful event. And I look forward to seeing you all there. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, sorry about that. Just a couple of things. In terms of the Giving Tree celebration, we're honored to welcome not only the J. Mike O'Neill Review, who was here a couple of months ago to great acclaim, but the J. Michael O'Neill Review Big Band with strings and horns and all sorts of wonderful things to, and you can earn a place at that by going to the Giving Tree and purchasing a leaf. A couple little local reminders. I see one of our wonderful congregants, Carrie Knoll, in the congregation. Carrie has an exhibit at the Lemley Theater that opens this weekend? Opens tomorrow, of her incredible photography. I know it from the almost daily Facebook postings I get of her beautiful work, but so we urge you to not only to visit the Lemley, of course, to see a movie and support the Lemley, but to support Carrie. Another one of our congregants, Lonnie Clough Fox, will be doing a cooking demonstration at the Erie County Fair, at the Erie County, I'm showing my Buffalo roots, at the LA County Fair, which opens tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So look on our Facebook page for the time. I think it's 5:30 p.m. next Tuesday. And she's got a line of marshmallow-based treats that's doing very well. And she's going to be at the fair showing her stuff and also doing some judging of other people's. And she would love support from all of us. So I think that's it for now. Thanks, Rabbi.
Great. We are in that period, as I mentioned, working toward Shavuot, counting the Omer. So we turn to page 278. 278. And we can say together that first English line where it says, I am ready. Let's read that together. 1, 2, 3. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Vitzivanu al Svirat HaOmer.
Praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer.
Hayom Shloshim Yom Shehem Arba'a Shavuot Ushnei Yamim LaOmer.
Today is the 30th day, which is 4 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. And now we're going to turn to page 282 for Aleinu L'Shabeach. Everybody who can comfortably do so, I invite you to please rise.
Aleinu L'Shabeach Ladon HaKol Lateit Gidula Liotzer Breishi Shelo Asanu Kigoye Haratzot Velo Samanu Kemishmechot Adama Shelo Sam Chelkeinu Kahem Vigor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam Vanachnu Korim Umishtachavim Umodim Lifnei Malach Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 287. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai v'melach al kol ha'aretz v'yom ha'hu v'yom ha'hu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo
Seated. Page 294. Take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. We hold them in our hearts and in our minds. As a community, we remember on this Shabbat, Ira Quacher, husband of Jane. Remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Richard Hirschfelder, Mel Laub, George Levy, Lillian Schachter, Jacob Friedman, Sari Friedman, Ernie Goodman, Ronald Gray, Tony Groveman, Leonard Levin, Sue Levy, Maria Rothbart, Miklos Rothbart, Tibor Rothbart, Ricky Serlin, Shirley Walensky, Bernard Cooper, Annette Feynman, Alicia Goldfarb, Garrett Harris, Garrett Hill, Francis Lieberman, Arnold Morrison, Frida Salinas, David Tobias, David Benson, Ann E. Chesler, Charles Frankelson, Eileen Harrison, Iris Revo, Leo Sachs, Harry Brown, Sheldon Fosco, Martha Knowles, Sonia Andrews, John J. Bohr Jr., Stanley Cohn, Lillian Lax, Norman Lefkowitz, Valentine Mashadi, Ursula Teppich, Samantha Harris, Jennifer Karchover, Richard Kirschbaum, Robert Kirschbaum, Myron Wilton, and Esther Zipser. These aren't working very well tonight. If you're in a time of mourning or observing a Yortzeit on this Shabbat, I'll invite you to rise in a moment. If you're online and you'd like to mention a name that you have, please mention it in the chat, and then I'll come by your rows here. If you're in a time of mourning or observing a yortzeit, I invite you to please rise first. I invite the rest of the congregation, if it's your custom, to rise in embrace and support of those who mourn. 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, bagalal v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam v'lomei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dukudasha brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We're going to conclude on page 321, last stanza, Biyado.
Beyado afkiruchi, beini shan ve'aira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li velo ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li velo ira. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Save me in your hand. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Save me in your hand. May I go of Ibuki, my spirit shall ve'ayira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li velo ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li velo ira.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thanks especially to our show band, Reed Gratz on keyboards and Ed Beardsley on bass. We welcome back Dana Sundin on flute and oboe, and Chris Gacci on percussion. And
Thank you to everybody
so much for joining us.
who joined us online. Shabbat Shalom, everyone else. Please join us
Shabbat
in the
Shalom.
social hall for Kiddush, Motzi, and refreshments. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
And also thanks to Aubrey Fuentes. Yay, Aubrey.
so